think is one of the most beautiful things on this planet. Um, it it was interesting. I remember a time where I would, be speaking to a young lady, and I'll I'll say yes, ma'am. They'll ask me something. Yes, ma'am. Don't call me ma'am. What you mean? Don't call you ma'am? That's what you are. Um, even and this kind of was a consistent post COVID or during COVID, where women even started to, try to dap me. I don't dap women. That's weird to me.
Come on.
I'm old school. I want to gently grab your hand, and if I know you or really respect you and love you, I'm a, what I'm saying, kiss your knuckle. I'm gonna kiss my knuckle on top of it. That's femininity. That's a feminine
La
woman to me.
la.
But for it to be a thing to where women are saying don't call me ma'am, or they don't gently give you their hand to shake it. uh I think that takes away from the essence of being feminine. So I think that is undoubtedly one of the most beautiful things on this planet. But I think we should get back to it.
Hank, I want to apologize to you because you did that earlier, and I'm like, I'm not a ma'am, I'm a miss. But the reason why I said that was because growing up, so my dad's side of the family, they're from the Philippines. Or no, sorry, my mom's side from Philippines. My dad's side of the family's from Memphis, so they're from the South. So they say ma'am a lot, right? So I started saying that like out here to like my own family because that's what I thought was like the thing. And then everyone, all the women in my family, like, don't call me ma'am. I think they do it because it makes them sound old. And then I got in the habit of doing that. So now I'm like, call me miss, not ma'am. So I apologize, Hank, because I totally was like, don't call me ma'am.
No, this is just being respectable. It's
That's
just
it.
showing
I,
respect.
I
And
accept your apology. I accept your apology.
I hate to say it, but I get mistaken for a man because of my hair. Um, it's just there's this stigma around having, if you don't have long hair, it's kind of like, oh, it's easy to mistake you, even though I have like the feminine features, body. It's like as soon as they hear my voice, they'll be like, oops, ma'am. And it's like they're just not used to seeing the short hair. So it's like I don't get the pleasure of being called a ma'am often.
Well, I will call you ma'am, and I think you're beautiful, and I think that more people should rock whatever type of hair they want to rock. And I think that feminine women doesn't have to be looking a certain way, it's how you act. You can look like the most beautiful person in the earth, but if inside of you and how you act doesn't put that out, then you are not feminine, ma'am. But you came on here, you're respectable, you're learning, like saying things. There's nothing wrong. And I think that's the problem is that we think that you have to look a certain way to be feminine, and that's not the truth. Feminine is who you are on the inside, not on the out.
I
I
wonder
mean,
about
well,
the
what
inside.
yeah, but what you are on the inside will show on the outside. So if you carry and present yourself in a feminine way, then that's that'll be undeniable. Same as with a masculinity, right? You can see a man and immediately know that, oh man, that buddy got a little sugar in his tank. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's nothing against it, if that's what he's into. But of course, it just looks differently for different men. Same way with femininity.
I was gonna say too, another thing that I noticed that like people will define is like feminine is the voices, right? So there are some men that don't have deep voices, so then they'll come off to be, oh, you're feminine, or you might be into the opposite sex. just because of that. And I think really we can't just judge, based on that, because sometimes like we do have a shift with our hormones. Like a lot of times men don't just have a high level of testosterone and then women have a high level of estrogen. Like we all have different levels. And when it comes to like our bodies and voices, like it's all going to be different. So, it's kind of like the stigma around that too is kind of a bit disturbing.
Yeah, I think that's instinctive though, right? Uh, with hearing a man with a deep voice, right? He probably has the deepest voice on the panel, which is why in most cases when he speaks,
What?
people or primarily women they feel intimidated by it because he has a deep masculine voice. So yeah, I agree with you to where if a man comes on the panel and he has a soft a much softer voice, then yeah, people may not respect him as much. People may not be as attracted to him just off of the strength of that. There are just simply things that comes, I guess, by default in masculinity and even in femininity, where it may stand out more. It may be more attractive. It may be more of a turnoff. It just all varies. I think the beautiful part about it, though, is that the fact that there's different levels of it, it all looks differently. So now that adds the diversity to it all for a person to be able to say, man, I appreciate this more than than something else, or this is what I'm into more than the other thing.
I do have a question for the panel. This is not to a man or woman, but the entire panel. We know that society, culture, and even religion have shaped our views on femininity. How much of it, what we see today as femininity, is influenced by outside forces versus what's truly authentic to the individual?
I think a lot. I feel like, especially for me and my generation, I think a lot of people will result femininity to like, oh, are your nails done, or your lashes done, is your hair done, things of that sort. When it's like that has nothing to do with it. I think it depends on that. I think it depends on where you're from, what your interests are, just like where you're getting your knowledge from.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. I feel like femininity is based upon like physical appearance, like how well you take care of yourself as a woman. But I feel like it starts with your mom and your dad, how your mom is to your father, if you do have a two-parent household.